tail docking in dogs or tail amputation. Now, there are three ways of doing it. One way is just cut vertically. This is what the breeders do, and you can see the bone there. After that, this is no good for the dog. Now, for the big dog, the over 1 week old, you should draw a marker line to cut a V shape. So after you cut this way, as shown in the illustration, then the top part will come downwards to stitch onto the lower part, so that you have this stitch up and then covers the bone, so there is no bone showing, unlike the straight cut by the breeders or the ones using the rubber band. Those homeowners, they use rubber band. The tail will come to like this after it has turned gangrenous. Now for a 3-day-old or 2-day-old puppy, I'll show this drawing. The scissor is angled at 45 degrees. 45 degrees, see from the top. Then we turn to push the skin backwards towards the anus and then cut. After cutting, then you can see that the skin, which has been pushed towards the anus, comes back forward, and then you stitch up as in the other case, stitch below, and that covers the bone as well. This is for 3 days old puppies, 2 to 3 days old. And so basically there are three ways of tail amputation. This is side view, one way, straight cut, and you can see the bone, which is no good because it looks terrible when it's grown up. Now the other way is you use a marker pen and draw a V shape. From the side you can see the V, the upper part is longer, and the lower part went by shorter, so that when you use a scalpel and cut, and then the top part, which is longer, will close down to the lower part, the ventral part, and then you have a nice stitch covering the tail. Now the third one is you just use a forceps or scissors to turn the top part of the skin towards the anus, so that you have extra skin here, and then when you cut this skin, this extra skin will go forward, backwards, and you can stitch down below. This is what I'm going to do now for this demonstration, this puppy. So the assistant holds the puppy, look facing left. Then now I'm not cutting, I'm just showing. So the scissor will be you hold the tail first, just for demonstration. Just hold this hand, hold the tail. No, just hold. I'm not cutting. Just hold this hand. Hold the. I'm not cutting yet. I just showing. I just show. Then the scissors is angled here, and from the top, then you turn the skin forward towards the. So you do this way 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Push the skin forward, and then you cut. So when you cut, the skin on top will go backwards, and then you have the extra skin to cover the bone, and then the potassium permanganate will be, because it's 2 days old, you don't need to stitch up. Potassium permanganate will stop the bleeding. So this is the way the assistant hold the tail straight, and then first position the scissors like that first. Okay, 45 degrees. Turn the skin up and then cut. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate now. Ready? You hold. Okay, ready here. First, 45 degrees. Okay. turn the skin, stitch, and then position per magnet to stop the bleeding. Yeah, stop the bleeding. Take some blood there. Stop the bleeding. And then this way, just stop the bleeding first. Yeah. And this way, the upper part is longer than the lower part, so it will cover the bone when it heals. Yeah. Okay, don't put it down. Then we will do the second one. The same thing again. Okay, after we check again. So the second one, as a good assistant, have to hold the straight and then put the tail up, and that's it now. Okay, hold straight. So scissors, 45 degrees. 45 degrees. You can see from top, 45 degrees. We focus first here. Don't move, focus. You put your hand here, focus. Okay, so 45 degrees first. So I will do this way, 45 degrees. Do the skin first and cut. Okay, then the assistant will just put the position per magnet to stop the bleeding. Yeah. Cauterize the wound. Yeah. Must press on it. Yeah. Put the position magnet direct onto the blood vessel. Yeah. Press onto it. Yeah. The two blood vessels. Cotton bud rub onto it. Yeah. Not just touching, just rub on the pressure. Okay, next one. Third one. Now the same again. He rests his hand on the side so that he's steady. Yeah. So it should be vertical. Not the tail should be. Okay. So the same thing again. So I will put 45 degrees. Turn and cut. Yeah. The position per magnet. Press onto it. Yeah. Press on it. Rub onto it like painting like that. Yeah. Like painting. Ready put onto the blood vessel. Not just touching. Just put onto it. Yeah. Like scaling, like dental scaling. Yeah. Okay. The last one. Then he rests his hand on the. He rests his hand steady. Okay. Now, okay, so ready, and actually 45 degrees again on top of the that's cut. Yeah. The reason I do tail docking is that the owner doesn't do it with rubber bands and in an unhygienic way, because if you don't do tail docking, then the owner is forced to seek breeders or do it themselves using rubber bands to strangulate the blood supply. So now we check one more time and see any tail is bleeding or not. So you'll check again, and normally there should be no bleeding. But we just check and see. Check number one. Check here and see. There's a bit of bleeding. No, just clean up. No, that part is only we will clean up later. Is the tail not bleeding? Second one. Check. Second one. Come here and check. Okay, no bleeding. There's a bit on the back side. Wait, let me see. No bleeding. Put the light there. Okay. Okay, no bleeding. Number 3. Check again before I give the owner. This one is good. No bleeding. Number 4. No bleeding. So only one has a bit of blood. So you just clean out the blood. Just now there was one. Where is the one just now? Not this one. No, there was. Just clean out the blood from the No. I mean the blood from the, not this one. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think this one. No. It was one of the white ones, one of the front ones. So as you can see, the surgery is just use tissue or wet, clean up the blood. So overall, there's no bleeding. Potassium permanganate powder cauterize the wound, and we can make sure it's clean. Otherwise, the mother will leak it. So that's it. You can see there's no bleeding on the towel. You see there's no bleeding, and so they can go back and then separate from the mother for 1 hour, and then just clean up. We will give the owner a bit of powder. Check carefully. Clean the backside. Okay, we wet. Just clean up, but don't touch the potassium permanganate. It cauterizes the bleeding. Okay, so put all together. This 4. So you can see there's no blood on the towels, so there's no bleeding. That should be okay. These are 2 days old poodles, born 2 days ago. Okay.